Well, the uncertainty surrounding House leadership means every other agenda item will have to wait until the job gets filled. And that includes a deal on U.S. funding for the war in Ukraine. Yesterday, President Biden expressed his concern over the issue.
It does worry me, but I know there are a majority of members of the House and Senate in both parties who have said that they support funding Ukraine.
So joining me now to discuss the latest out of Washington is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. So, Ed, we heard a little bit from the president there. Despite the confusion in Congress right now, the president seemed to suggest that there are alternative ways to supply aid to Ukraine, at least temporarily. I want to play some more of what he had to say.
We can support Ukraine in the next tranche that we need, and there is another means by which we may be able to find funding for that, but I'm not going to get into that now.
What is he referring to there?
In plain English, Anne-Marie, he can move money around. And I think why he didn't want to get into it is, A, it's so technical and specific, and B, because it would signal to allies and adversaries overseas how tricky this really is, potentially, if the money starts to run dry. But there is authority he has to essentially divert Defense Department spending and put it towards Ukraine if the money that has been authorized ultimately does dry up. And we don't quite know when that will happen. There were a few $1 billion left, but as you know, we've seen over the course of this war, they can burn through that money pretty quickly based on the materials and the equipment they need.
So earlier this week, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said time isn't our friend when it comes to a path forward on Ukraine aid. Do we have any idea how long current funding will last in Ukraine if new support packages remain deadlocked by Congress?
So we had been told here at the White House about 2 weeks ago that the money would run out at the end of the fiscal year, which was last week. So at this point, you're probably seeing them still with a few $100 million available. But again, it's going to start to run out here in the coming days, if not weeks, depending on how long this drags out. And so again, the president can divert money at the Pentagon and push it towards Ukraine if necessary. And remember, it's not just money. It's mostly they're sending materials, they're sending equipment. It's the need to replenish those stockpiles, to move things around. Again, very technical, and they may ultimately not want to get into it in the public space, but it's not as if there's a lot of extra around, and so ultimately the breathing room needed, the political will is necessary to have Congress pass this funding, have the president sign off on it, to not only get the money moving, but signal to the country and to the world how publicly the United States continues to stand by Ukraine.
So let's talk about where that political will lies right now. As you know, in the House, Republicans are in the midst of a leadership shuffle. For those who are opposed to additional aid to Ukraine, what's the issue? And the two top contenders, Scalise and now I'm going to have like a total brain.
Jim Jordan.
There you go, Jim Jordan. Where do they stand on this issue?
So Steve Scalise voted for the most recent aid package that was voted on in the House, and has been somebody who is supportive generally of continuing to fund U.S. aid to Ukraine. Jim Jordan very clearly had said to reporters at one point yesterday, I'm opposed to that. There are bigger problems here in the United States that we should focus on instead. Aides later clarified that what he meant is he's okay with it if the White House here can provide some sense of what exactly it is the president's trying to accomplish in Ukraine. And there have been calls from especially House Republicans to get more clarity from administration officials on what exactly it is the United States is seeking, how long they see the commitment going, some sense of how the money's being spent. And the White House had offered up national security officials to go brief House Republicans this week on that, until, of course, the speaker drama began. So expect that there will be more conversation between House Republicans and the White House about how the money would be spent, what the goal is. The president himself said yesterday he's now preparing to give a broader speech on Ukraine, why he thinks the aid is necessary. What Republicans on Capitol Hill want to hear, however, is does he lay out how much longer this is going to take, what success or victory looks like for the United States, and how much longer he thinks the aid will be needed.
All right, Ed, thank you, and thank you for subbing in for my poor memory. Appreciate that.